Welcome to Behind the Lens. If you love photography and want to explore the art, history, and technology behind the cameras, this is the place for you. On Behind the Lens, we break down the science, share fascinating stories, and dive into the techniques that make photography so powerful. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Let's uncover the magic behind the lens together. Many photographers fall into the trap of believing that better gear automatically leads to better photos. While having high-end equipment can enhance image quality, it doesn't replace the need for a strong understanding of composition, lighting, and storytelling. A professional photographer with a basic camera will always produce better images than a beginner with the most expensive setup. Instead of constantly chasing new cameras and lenses, the focus should be on mastering the equipment you already have. Learning how to adjust settings, understanding exposure, and experimenting with different angles will have a much greater impact on your photography than any upgrade. Another common mistake is ignoring the importance of light. Photography is fundamentally about capturing light, yet many beginners take photos without considering how it affects the subject. The quality, direction, and intensity of light can completely transform an image. Shooting in harsh midday sun can create strong, unflattering shadows, while golden hour lighting in the early morning or late afternoon provides a softer, more pleasing look. Indoor photography often suffers from poor lighting because natural light is ignored and artificial light sources aren't used effectively. Understanding how to use available light and making small adjustments, such as positioning your subject near a window or using reflectors, can make a huge difference in your final images. Another trap many photographers fall into is shooting without a clear vision. While it's good to experiment, simply pointing the camera at random subjects without thinking about composition or story often leads to uninspiring images. Every great photograph tells a story, conveys emotion, or captures a unique perspective. Instead of taking hundreds of random shots, it helps to slow down and be intentional. Before pressing the shutter, consider what you want to communicate with the image. Think about framing, balance, and how different elements in the scene interact. The difference between an average photo and a great one often comes down to the thought process behind it. Over-editing is another mistake that can ruin an otherwise great shot. Many beginners apply excessive contrast, saturation, and sharpening, making their photos look unnatural. Editing should enhance an image, not overpower it. Subtlety is key when adjusting colors, brightness, and contrast. Instead of relying on heavy filters or presets, it's important to develop an eye for natural-looking adjustments that complement the image. A well-edited photo should still look real, even if small enhancements are made to improve its overall impact. On the opposite end, some photographers avoid editing entirely, believing it's unnecessary or that it takes away from the authenticity of the shot. However, even the best photographers use processing to refine their images. Adjusting exposure, correcting colors, and fine-tuning details can elevate a good photo into something truly remarkable. Editing doesn't mean altering reality. It's about making small adjustments to bring out the best in an image. Learning basic post-processing techniques in software like Lightroom or Photoshop can help photographers take full control of their final results. Another major trap is comparing yourself to other photographers. With social media filled with stunning images, it's easy to feel like your work isn't good enough. Seeing highly polished professional photography can be discouraging, leading many to believe they'll never reach that level. However, it's important to remember that every great photographer started somewhere, and most of the work seen online has been carefully selected and edited. Instead of feeling discouraged, use other photographers' work as inspiration. Focus on your own progress and improvement rather than constantly comparing your work to others. A common mistake that holds photographers back is relying too much on automatic settings. While auto mode can be useful in certain situations, it limits creative control. Learning to shoot in manual mode allows for greater flexibility, ensuring you get the exact exposure, depth of field, and motion blur you want. It might seem intimidating at first, but understanding how shutter speed, aperture, and ISO work together will significantly improve overall photography skills. Experimenting with different settings and practicing in various lighting conditions will make manual adjustments feel more natural over time. Focusing too much on technical perfection while ignoring creativity is another issue. Some photographers become so obsessed with getting the perfect exposure, sharpness, and framing that they forget to capture emotion and spontaneity. While technical skills are important, photography is also about storytelling and capturing moments. Sometimes an imperfect shot with a great subject or strong emotion is far more powerful than a technically flawless but uninspired image. It's important to balance both aspects, ensuring that technical knowledge serves creativity rather than restricting it. Neglecting composition techniques is another trap that prevents images from standing out. The rule of thirds, leading lines, symmetry, and framing are all essential for creating visually engaging photos. Without thoughtful composition, images can feel flat or unbalanced. Instead of simply placing the subject in the center of the frame, experimenting with different compositions can add depth and interest to photos. Paying attention to background elements and making sure they complement rather than distract from the subject is also crucial. One of the biggest challenges in photography is staying motivated, and a common mistake is giving up too soon. Photography is a skill that takes time and practice to develop. Many people start with excitement, only to lose interest when they don't see immediate improvement. The key is consistency. Instead of expecting rapid progress, focus on gradual improvement. Looking back at old photos and seeing how far skills have developed can be a great motivator. Setting small goals, such as mastering a new technique or completing a photo project, can keep the passion alive. Another common mistake is taking too many photos without reviewing and analyzing them. Simply shooting thousands of images without evaluating what works and what doesn't leads to slow progress. Taking the time to review photos, identifying strengths and weaknesses, and understanding what could be improved will help refine skills much faster. Constructive self-criticism, combined with learning from other photographers, accelerates growth. Neglecting to back up photos is a mistake that can lead to devastating losses. Many photographers have experienced the heartbreak of losing their work due to a failed hard drive or accidental deletion. Having multiple backups, whether on external drives or cloud storage, ensures that valuable images are never lost. Developing a habit of organizing and backing up photos regularly will prevent this issue from ever becoming a major problem. A major trap that some photographers fall into is sticking to one style or subject for too long. While specializing in a particular type of photography is valuable, experimenting with different genres can lead to creative breakthroughs. Trying portrait photography, landscapes, street photography, or macro shots can provide new perspectives and techniques that improve overall skills. Breaking out of comfort zones and challenging oneself with new styles keeps photography exciting and fresh. Ignoring storytelling in photography is another common mistake. A technically perfect image may not have the same impact as one that tells a compelling story. Whether capturing emotion in portraits, documenting daily life, or creating a dramatic landscape, adding a storytelling element makes photos more engaging. Thinking about the message behind each shot and how it connects with viewers adds depth to photography. Underestimating the power of patience is a mistake that affects many photographers. Capturing the perfect shot often requires waiting for the right light, moment, or expression. Whether it's a landscape that needs the right cloud formation, or a street scene that comes alive with the right timing, patience plays a crucial role in great photography. Rushing shots or settling for average compositions without waiting for the right conditions can result in missed opportunities. Avoiding these photography traps will lead to steady improvement and a more enjoyable creative process. Staying focused on learning, experimenting, and refining techniques will ensure continuous growth. Photography is a journey, and the key to success is embracing challenges, staying curious, and always striving to improve.